Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of the Violet Creek podcast. My name is Carrie Ann. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Violet Creek. Everything will be linked down below the video for links that I can find. And thank you for joining me here today. If you haven't watched my first episode, feel free to go watch it. If you've watched my first one and have come back to watch the second one, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe so that you can know when I post a new video, and then I know who wants to watch my videos in the future. So I guess we'll get right into it. I feel like I haven't been crafting as much as I would like to, but when I was writing everything down, it turns out I have been. So we'll just hop right in. So let's start with cross stitch today. So I've kind of been obsessed with cross stitching again. I'm working on the hummingbird art pattern. Again, I will link it down below. And this will end up being a gift for my grandparents once it's finished. So this is what I have. Let's go this way. This is what I have so far. So I believe it's actually the bottom of it. So there's just some branches there with some like little rosebuds or flower buds, whatever they are. And then we've started like some shading over here, which is really fun. They're just half stitches. And yeah, I've just kind of been working on it one page at a time. So I'll look at the page and pick a color and just stitch everything on that page for that color, and then I'll go on to the next one. I've also kind of made a goal to put in 69 stitches every day. So I calculated how many I would need to stitch every day in order to have this done for next Christmas for them, and finished a little bit early so that I have time to back stitch everything and then get it framed. But ideally next Christmas is when I would like to gift it. So 69 stitches a day. So far I'm ahead of that. So that's been really great, but I just made like a little calendar to keep track. But I've been obsessed again. So like I've said in the previous episode, I get really obsessed with like one craft, whether it's cross stitch or knitting or crochet, and I will just be obsessed with that for a while, and then I'll switch to a different craft once I get bored of this one. But this week especially, I've really been working on this, and I'm loving how it's turning out. It is one of the more complicated cross stitch patterns I've done, just because like some of the stitches, it calls for like one strand of two different colors. So you're still holding two strands, but you're mixing colors, and then it's just a lot of switching colors. There's also half stitches and full stitches, which sometimes messes me up because I'll start like stitching a full stitch and then I'll be like, oh, that was a half stitch. Then I have to go and rip out all of the stitches I've done. Hopefully I've just done one row so I can just rip out the top of the stitches and then keep going. But yeah, really been loving this, really been liking working on it, and I like that I'm ahead of the game with that one. So that's really fun. Let's move on to some crochet. So I've picked up another crochet project lately. So I've just started making a cat blanket with just scrap yarn. So this is just scraps of Patons Kroy that I had left over, and I'm marling it with the Loops and Threads Impeccable, and I believe this is the gray color, Cool Gray. I think that's what it's called, is Cool Gray. So it's just a fingering weight yarn. Here's the label. Did I say wool-like? Or I know I said Impeccable. It's wool-like by Loops and Threads. Impeccable is their worsted weight. But wool-like by Loops and Threads, and the color is Cool Gray. Right there. So that's that one. And that was just in my stash. And then I made a magic knot cake of all of my leftovers of Patons Kroy that I have acquired since I started knitting socks. So it was really fun to make the cake. Here's the back. You can see the colors a bit better, but this is going to be fun. And I'm not sure how much one blanket is going to take, so I just did all of my Patons Kroy scraps into a cake. And then when I have more Patons Kroy scraps, I will just make another cake and keep going. The hook size I'm using is just a 5mm. These are just from Michael's. They have like the nice silicone-y grip. That's my favorite kind of hook. And then there is the actual hook part. So that's the kind I like. I'm not sure honestly what the different hook heads are called. I know that there's different kinds, but this one's my favorite, and these are pretty cheap, and then you can just pick up whatever sizes you need, or a full set if you prefer. So yeah, so I've just been working on that. And so I do have cats, but these are for the cats at the Humane Society, the Winnipeg Humane Society. I've done other blankets before with like thicker yarn and just like scraps, which I'll still do some of, but whenever I have leftover yarn, I just like to make cat blankets. They take donations for them all the time. They take donations for yarn so that their volunteers can make cat blankets. And I'm just doing a single crochet. I can't remember how many I cast on, but they prefer 2 feet by 2 feet for their blankets. That's just the size that they find is best. So I just chained until I was at 2 feet. So yeah, so I started that and kind of got obsessed with this for a week as well. It's fun marling colors, you know, like I mean, I'm using gray for one of the colors, so that's not as exciting, but it's fun because like Patons Kroy self-striping. So this blanket is going to be kind of wild and funky, and I love it. And as I'm doing it, the next color that pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those socks. I made those for my boyfriend, or those were for me, and I love it. So I've just been working on that every once in a while whenever I need a break from knitting and cross stitching. And then it also helps out the kitties. So I'm all about that. So let's go on to knitting. So whips from last time. So I was working on the Autumn League pullover last time. I did put in a bunch of work on that. And I did get this bag since the last podcast. So this is from the Kitchen Sink Shop. So there's her tag. Again, I will link it in the box down below. I'll link her shop. Her bags are amazing. And I'm so glad I snagged this one because you have to be like on her updates, and this was the last one. So I snagged it and I love it. It's like the perfect sweater size. It has a drawstring. It has the top handle, so you don't have to close it, but you know, I have cats and they like to dig in bags, so I do close it. And then you have like a nice way to carry it. Just such good bags. I want to buy a lot more of her bags, but again, you have to be on the updates. So it was just kind of lucky for me to grab one. So this is kind of a monster at this point. Yeah, it goes like this. This is the front. So last time I was just working on the front, but now it's so hard to hold up. I have finished, you can see that, I've finished the front and the back completely, and you knit them flat and then seam it at the end. So now I'm working on a sleeve, and I don't know why, but I assumed that the sleeves would be in the round, but they are not. So this is the start of the top of my sleeve, and then you knit it flat, knit the other sleeve flat, and then seam everything. So finished the front and started and finished the back, and now I'm just working on one sleeve. So I haven't been picking this up recently just because I knit a lot on it because I want to wear it. So I needed a little bit of a break, but I think I am ready to get back into it because, again, I do want it. I do want to wear it. It's going to be like so cozy. It's so soft, and it's like the perfect weight, I think. Like, it's not too dense, but it's not super airy. Like, it'll still keep you warm. I'm just really excited for it. And yeah, so that fits in here really nicely. There's the skein of yarn at the bottom. I won't take it out because it's just a mess, but yeah, I'm really excited to finish that. So hopefully, maybe I'll make a goal of finishing the one sleeve this week. And then moving on, I did work a little bit on my PB&J socks. So previously, this one, I don't remember where I was, but I know it didn't have a toe. So I made it to the toe, I knit the toe, I just have to Kitchener it, and then I'll just have to cut in an afterthought heel. So right now it's just a tube with a cuff and a toe. And then I did cast on the second one. So here's the second one. I knit the cuff and I'm about 2 stripes in to the leg. So yeah, I don't remember when I decided to do the toe, but those are coming along nicely. I've kind of hit like a roadblock with socks. I feel like I just knit too many. And so kind of taking a break on socks, but I might just start bringing these with me to work, and then when I'm early, like a little bit early for work, I can knit on these just for a couple minutes every day, and then those couple minutes really do add up in the end. And those are just a like vanilla sock pattern. I believe I did 60 stitches, 2x2 rib, and then just knit the tube, and then I'm not sure what the toe is called, but it's the one where you decrease on both sides every second row. So whatever that one's called, that's the one I do for all my socks. And then, yeah, so I cast on something new, which I am kind of amazed with how much I've gotten done. So in the last episode, I showed you my acquisition of the Patons Kroy Mexicala stripes. So I got these on clearance. I had bought 4 balls of them. So there's the label. So it's Mexicala stripes. So it was on clearance. So I doubt that you could find this anymore. But I just needed something fun and like, I don't know. I was bored of the socks, but I still wanted to knit socks. And I had purchased new sock needles last time. So I was like, wow, they're empty. They need socks on them. So I casted on this one. So I've got my cuff done, and I'm knitting the tube. I've decided that I'm just going to like match them up as best as I can, and then knit the one full skein into a tube, and then do the black Patons Kroy, or I guess it's called coal, for the toes, and then cut in an afterthought heel, so that I can get the most out of the skein and that they'll still match. So this one is super fun. It is like the most random and the longest repeat. So like up here, we're finally starting it down here. So all of this was just like, I kept knitting, and you know, I would see like a color that I've seen before, and I was like, all right, yeah, here's the beginning of the next repeat. And then it wasn't the same. Like, it was like big chunks of color, and I was like, well, what the heck? And then I got to this part, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks similar, but there wasn't purple in the beginning, and there was this little bit of blue, and I'm like, well, what the heck? And then I kept knitting, and then there was this huge chunk of orange, and then a pink, and then I hit the blue again. See, I thought the repeat would start here with the blue, but it definitely does not. So it's a very long repeat, but I like the randomness of it. They look like scrappy socks without having to weave in all those ends, and yeah, they're just really fun. It was something that I just needed, like a burst of color, and like this really did it for me. So I had that one, and then I decided to cast on the other one just so that I could match them up within the skein, so that I didn't forget where I started. And so this one I just have the cuff done and like maybe 2 rows of the leg, just because I was working on this one, and then I'll go and work on this one. But on this tube I have, it's a really sad looking ball now, but I just have a little bit left, so I think that'll be like a good, you know, you can kind of see your foot. I think that'll be a good length for work socks for me, because I do wear work socks every day, and I feel like I need more of them. And then the leftovers of whatever's left, I can add it to a new magic cake for cat blankets, that would be like a really fun color, I think. So done that. Oh, I do have an FO, but I don't have it here because I've gifted it already. So I had knit the Calvin sweater for my cousin. She's having a little girl. I believe she's due in November. So you can head to my Instagram to look for the picture of that. But I do still have the yarn that I knit it out of. So again, it's the Calvin sweater. It will be linked down below, and I will post it today right after I'm filming this. A picture of it so you can see what it looks like. But it's just like a raglan baby sweater. It has like in the chest portion, there's like garter, and then the rest is stockinette, and it's striped. So I used 2 colors of the Patons Beehive Baby Sport. So this is what it looks like. This is the color Precious Pink. And then I also used, I believe it was called Baby Gray. And so it's 70% acrylic, 30% nylon. So it's completely machine washable. Also the father, like my cousin's husband, is allergic to wool, so I can't use any type of wool. But this stuff is so soft, like crazy soft. Like I would knit myself a sweater out of this. And then it's completely, like there's no wool. So if you're allergic to wool, this is a good option. It says it's around a DK weight. I would call it like a heavy sport to DK, but such a good option. Really good option for baby knits, because then, you know, they can wash it in the washing machine. They don't have to worry about hand washing when they have a newborn. This would be lovely for a blanket, and it's affordable. You can find it at Michael's, online stores. Yeah, I really loved working with this. It's also, since it has the nylon in it, it does stretch. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It does have stretch to it, so it's not like knitting with acrylic, because I really hate knitting with acrylic. Crocheting's fine, but knitting just drives me nuts. But this one was like actually stretchy enough to knit a sweater, so I really enjoyed it. So head to my Instagram to look at that picture of the Calvin sweater, or look it up on Ravelry. Okay, is that all of my whips and FOs? Oh, I have one more. So this is a finished object turned into a whip. So this was a sweater I had knit my mom last Christmas. And this was the Easy Bulky one by Joji Locatelli. And it doesn't fit her. It is way too small on her. It's also like it was knit at a very dense like fabric. I think the yarn that I used was a lot denser than like what the pattern called for. So I should have gone up a needle size, but I didn't gauge swatch or anything. And this yarn was, I can't even remember what it was called. It was also on clearance when I bought it. And I think I have one stain left, maybe somewhere. What was it? It was the Eco. I'm not sure. I will put it down below. But so I am going to rip this out, and then weigh how much I have and see what I have. And then if I have enough, I might knit the Winter League pullover. So it's the Autumn League pullover, but in a bulky version, so that I can still use the yarn, because I do like the gauge for the Autumn League pullover. So I probably should gauge swatch, but I don't think I would have to, because it's the same designer and I got gauge, you know. I know that's cheating, but I just don't want to gauge swatch for this. So I'm going to rip it out. Hopefully it rips out nicely, because the yarn was kind of like not super spun, not tightly spun, I guess is the better term. So hopefully I can rip it out really easily, and then I might cast that on soon so that I can get it done for Christmas this year for her, because I want her to be able to wear it and I want it to fit her well. So I think that is my last whip. So FO turned whip. When you think you finished it and then you didn't actually finish it because it doesn't fit. So now we'll go into acquisitions. So I picked up another skein of the Wool Like by Loops and Threads in the cool gray for my my cat blankets, just to mix in with them, just to have on hand. And then I guess 2 weekends ago, I think 2 weekends ago. It was the Manitoba Fiber Trail. So I went to Wolseley Wool because they had posted that they had a new shipment of hedgehog that came in, and then there was also 2 vendors that were there as well. So we'll start with the hedgehog. So I picked up 5 skeins of soft yarn. Get them out of this bag. And I'm planning on doing the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, which starts tomorrow. So I am super duper excited about that. I've never done a Stephen West pattern before, and but I've loved like looking at his patterns, and I've always wanted to knit one, but I've just never put in the time. So I figured the mystery knit along would be a good starting point, because then you're knitting with other people, you can post your progress and stuff like that, get inspired. So you need 5 colors, and then he also said that they should be like pretty tonal, like solid tonal, and then, you know, throw in a speckle here and there. So this is the palette that I picked out. Again, all hedgehog. So I have colors are blowing out a little bit, but I have 4 tonals and then the 1 speckle. So the speckle is called Pine, and it has like all the other colors in it, which I thought was like pretty cool. It's like, I love speckle yarn, so I figured I had to add a speckle one in. So that's Pine, and these are so soft. They're 90% merino, 10% nylon. At least that's what this one is. They all like that? Yeah. So this light pink color is called Ghost. And that's showing up pretty true on there. I have this one called Plump, which is, I think I went to this one first. So this one's blowing out a little bit. It's a little bit darker. Let me see if I can. That's kind of more accurate there. But it's just like this dark, like wine purpley color. Like almost like lipstick. Here, let me just, I have a light over there, so I'm trying to like block it. Not working very well. Right there in the middle of the skein, that's what it actually looks like. So it's just this really pretty, like, I guess back here, that's what it looks like as well. And then I got Cedar, which this one blows out as well. So it's just like a piney, greeny blue. Reminds me of like a spruce tree. So yeah, if I bring it close up, it gets blown out. It looks more blue, but it's pretty green. Back here is a good representation. And then I got Graphite, which is just like a dark charcoaly gray. It looks a little bluer on camera as well, but back here is closer to what it looks like. So you want kind of like a lot of contrast. So, you know, like a really dark colors and then like some light colors. I don't know if I can hold these all up at the same time. Here we go. There we go. So that's a pretty good representation right there of what they all look like together. And like, this is my palette. Like, I love this so much. The rich green and the red together are like everything for me. And then I love like a pink with red. Oh, it's good. It's just good. And I'm really excited for it. And it's like the perfect time of year to knit like a jewel toned shawl. So I'm really excited for that. And I cannot wait to cake those up tonight and then cast on tomorrow and just knit tomorrow. I'm very excited for it. Very excited. And then the booth that I went to, or the vendor that was there, one of them was Fireweed Fiber Company, and so they are local to Winnipeg, and I picked up this combo. That's pretty accurate there. And I am going to do the Birds of a Feather shawl with this because I've wanted to do the Birds of a Feather for forever, but I've just kind of been afraid of mohair for some reason. So these are her Violet sock base. So it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And this is the color Tea Time. Like, look how pretty that is. Like, I saw this and I was like, yeah, I need that. I need that right now. There's just like such beautiful speckling in it, and like these are my colors, you know, like there's the pink and the red or burgundy color, there's like purple. This honestly just reminds me of like muddled berries, you know. I love it. So here's her label, Fireweed Fiber Company. So if you're looking for a Canadian dyer or someone, even somebody that's local to Winnipeg, definitely recommend this. And then I also picked up mohair. So this is her anemone lace. Anemone? Did I say that right? I feel like Finding Nemo. Anemone. Why does that sound weird? Anemone. I think that's how you say it. Anemone lace. So it's 72% mohair, 28% silk, single ply, and this is her Pinot Noir colorway. My gosh, now I'm struggling. So it's super soft. I'm really excited for this. And yeah, so it's a 50-gram skein. Oh shoot, I hope that's enough. I don't think I looked at the pattern. It should be enough, right? If not, I can always order from her, I think. And if she doesn't have this, maybe you just beg her for one. So I think that'll be really pretty. I like the dark pop to add the mohair. And I think that is everything that I've mentioned. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching me. I am super excited to knit today and tomorrow. I think me and a friend are gonna go on a little hike and then find some place to sit and knit in the woods, which I'm very excited about. And then we might go to Michael's and pick up a couple things. So thank you so much for watching me. Again, please subscribe so that I know that you want to see my videos. Follow me on Instagram, comment on my posts. I'm trying to post there more. I keep saying that and then don't. I'm just really busy, but I'm definitely going to try harder to post more. I might do a challenge where I have to post every single day so that I get in the habit of posting more often. But yeah, thank you for watching and letting me share what I've been working on. I would also love to see what you're working on, so if you want to tag me in anything, please do, or comment below what you're working on or what you'd like to see. And yeah, have a great day and enjoy knitting this weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!